Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T. from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Well, it's good to be back with you on the air and everywhere from the community to the world as we're kind of straightening some things up here. Just want to take a real quick volume check, Lee. Do you hear me okay? I won't be able to hear you through the cell phone or through the headphones unless you come on mic with me, Lee. So just let me know.
Roger.
Are we all right?
All good.
What's that? It sounds good. No distortion or anything? Because I've been having a little bit of distortion problems.
No.
Lately.
You're good. Okay,
so I'm good. Okay, yeah, especially when I'm doing remotes, I'm having a little distortion because I can't monitor myself out there with this particular iRig microphone. Okay, all right, good. Well, it's good to have you with me here. The Jesse T Show is starting right here in Southern California on a rainy Southern California Tuesday. My goodness, we were up early this morning, and I was out going to do some training this morning, and I decided that I'm going to do that later on tonight. But we were out today and early in the morning, and it was raining pretty hard. So that was kind of cool. It's good to have rain here in Southern California because we don't get too much of it, that much here. At least in the last couple of years, we haven't gotten too much of it. Last year actually it rained pretty hard, but the year before that we've been in a drought for like 15 years or something. So, but it hasn't rained all but once or twice this year so far. Coming from about summer on, it's only rained one time of 2017. So it is pouring, and constantly. Consequently, what's happening is there is disaster after disaster after disaster now around Southern California because of all the big fires that we had here. What's taken place, all the vegetation has been eroded and burned off, and it's just raw land, and it is creating mudslides after mudslides after mudslides, bridges and mud all over the freeway, and roads that are being completely blocked off, cars that are being completely covered in mud, people are being covered in mud and dying from mudslides, and especially up and down the Ventura County coastline, because what's been happening there, of course, with the big Ventura fire, that was the biggest fire. I think it was the second biggest fire of all time in the state of California, and all that vegetation is gone. So those natural streams up there in those mountains have turned into running mud rivers. It's really pretty unbelievable what's taking place, but that's what happens when we have these kind of rainstorms. And anything along the foothills here, up in the Sun Valley area and Sunland area, they're having mudslides as well as in Burbank because of the vegetation that was burned off about a year and a half ago, not quite that far from the big Burbank fire that almost burned a bunch of houses down. So there's mudslides up there as we are broadcasting from Burbank here in an undisclosed location. So it's pretty disastrous out there. It's funny. You would think that the people that create these roads and sewer systems and drainage systems would have enough drainage systems for the amount of water that gets thrown out on the streets during a rainy storm, but it seems like they never learn, and I don't know what it is, but I guess sometimes I think they do it on purpose and they flood the streets back because none of these drainage systems ever seem to be working completely here in Southern California. I don't know about your city and your town where you're at, but government here and infrastructure, I mean, we're living in Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone days here. It's pretty amazing how unorganized and just how things don't work real well. This being the second largest city in the United States of America, and if you count all the illegals that are still here, it's probably the first largest city in the United States of America. But yet our drainage systems don't work real well, and so there's lots of accidents on the freeways because you're going 65 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour, and then you hit this puddle of water. Everybody slams on their brakes. I saw cars sliding all over everywhere. I saw a big semi-truck go over a center divider here on the way to the Los Angeles area this morning. It's just insane what's happening. So be careful if you're out there. I mean, they have their ice storms and their snowstorms and their snow blizzards and stuff back east. We got rain. I love the rain, though, but Americans here in Southern California, Southern Californians just don't seem to get it. They have a hard enough time driving when it's 102 degrees and it's dry temperatures on the ground. Put a little water under them, and I'll tell you, man, it's slip slider. It's like a slip slider. You know, remember the slip and slide? That's what it's like here, all over California. So be careful what you're doing there. Hey, it's another great day here in the South End, though. On the way to Wound Up tomorrow on Wednesday. Got some of the crew in, and of course our big day. Tom Sizemore is coming in this Thursday. We're going to be talking about the big witch hunt that seems to be taking place in Hollywood right now with all the sexual harassment stuff. I mean, there's some cats that are really should be taken down, but it seems to me it's starting to turn into a witch hunt for a lot of people. Anybody who's got an angst or a chip on their shoulder with anybody, or feels like they didn't get the job or the gig or whatever, it seems like they just all have to do is point the finger and say sexual harassment, and all of a sudden that name gets put on the list and people can't get any work. So we're going to be talking about that and his career and all the good things. You know, Tom Sizemore is one of the biggest A-listers. He's been in so many great movies like Private Ryan and Black Hawk Down and Heat, and the list goes on and on and on. You can check him out on his IMDb site. That's a site that we all have here in the entertainment business that kind of gives a dissertation of our careers. So it's kind of cool. So he's going to be in on Thursday down at the station as we broadcast live on the powerofvoices.com and our radio feed, which radiates to millions and millions and millions of people all around the world and the nation and God's blue-green earth, and from here out to the solar system and Andromeda and back. Yes, we are beaming all across everywhere in this grand, old, beautiful place called Hollywood, California, and Southern California and Los Angeles. So also saying hi to our friends on Instagram Live. Boy, they're checking in right now. We got Sabrina Ann Hawes checking in, Anna Jolina checking in. Also saying hi to Linda Fettig. She's checking in. Richard Short's checking in. Not to say Richard is too short. He might be Richard Long or Richard Medium. I don't know, but his name's Richard Short. I wonder, hey, Richard, did you get teased a lot when you were a kid growing up? Can you imagine having a name like Richard as your last name, and I'm going to end it right there. Okay. Saying hi to Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero as well. We got you there. And of course, we're on Tumblr, Twitter, Livestream, Periscope, Instagram Live at Jesse Torrero. So we're starting to bring up that Instagram audience. We're going to see if we can bridge on and see if we can bring some people on here and a little bit here and get some shared videos and see what you're doing around the country. If you're chiming in from the East Coast or the South, let me know what the weather's like there, and we'll compare weather. Yes, my dog's bigger than your dog, right? So that's sort of kind of what we're going to do here, to see what your weather's like in relationship to our weather here in Southern California. So a couple cool things are happening here around the country right now. Of course, the economy's booming, and we have the stock exchange going, probably going to hit 26,000 in a very short period of time. This morning it was 25,500 or 440 the last I looked at it this morning. And jobs are up. Jobs are way up. This Tax Reform Act is already starting to make people feel real good about the extra couple $1,000s that they're going to be able to save here, thus make. We aren't really going to get hit too hard in the real estate business with this here in Southern California. They're still allowing the deductions and all the things we had before. You got the doubling of the college fund, or the children's cap, I believe that's what they called it. So people are starting to feel real good about our economy as we're booming. We are completely out of the recession. In fact, we're probably pushing 4% gross national product, GNP. So that's what we're shooting for. You know, Donald Trump said it was going to happen. And boy, it's happening. And that's just the first year. Now we move to infrastructure and immigration. And he's going to work out a compromise deal like I always said he was going to do with DACA. And the kids that were brought over here illegally by their parents who were criminals and never had the brains or the smarts to get their kids, citizenship papers after 20 years. Well, we're going to do something about that. And I was watching this morning where the Democrats and the Republicans are going to get together and work this out and make DACA happen for folks. So that's a good thing. in that respect. And of course, our military is getting stronger and stronger every day, every way, getting better, better. Hey, to the point now that North and South Korea are sitting down for talks. I kind of figured that that was going to happen too at some point. North and South Korea are going to sit down for military talks at the 38th parallel. So that's kind of a cool and historic thing. So that's, if they haven't sat down already, they're going to continue those talks. And the Seoul Winter Olympics are coming up here in Seoul, Korea. And so, you know, North Korea wants to be a part of that. And so maybe there's, through strength and power, and through not backing down and bending over like Obama did across the world for 8 years, we forced the issue. And maybe the little bully there in North Carolina is finally realizing that, you know, he can get a lot more done. He really doesn't want to have his country completely demolished in 45 minutes, because that's about all it would take. So he would kill a lot of people with his rocket ships going over to South Korea. That's be the only thing. But we're forcing the hand of those North Koreans to sit down and talk, so that's a good thing. So that's a positive thing that's happening there. We got those riots and those protests in Iran. They're getting the young generation. That's you, the millennials, and the end of the baby boomers and the millennial generation and the next generation being born. It's just not born here in America. It's born all over the country. So we got that going on over there. And maybe we can topple those Ayatollahs, because they've been nothing but bad for that country, destroying its great history and destroying its intelligence. Some of the smartest people in the world come out of Persia, always have historically. So there's a lot of good things happening on the front here. I still hope they build that wall. Build that wall, President. I want you to build that wall. Anyway, because build that wall nice and long and tall, because I believe we have to have that. So, you know, congratulating to Alabama. I'm not a big professional sports watcher anymore. I used to, but I'm just kind of fed up with all these athletes, even the ones in college now. I'm just kind of fed up with them all. So I really don't watch much, but they do. They should get a congratulation. These are young men, and they're not caught up, hopefully, in the silliness of life yet, and they don't have too many chips on their shoulders. But Alabama, I believe, pulled it out. National champions. That's terrific. It was a great game. I just saw pieces of it. So, as I said, I'm not a big watcher of that. So, Ann Juliana, can you hear me? Let's see. I keep cutting in and out. So, Sabrina Ann Hall says, I keep cutting in and out. So let's see if we can turn the volume up there.
No, you're
and
fine.
On that, what's that?
You're fine. I'm not having any trouble coming to me.
Okay, so it must be on my other systems that I'm keeping and cutting in and out. All right, well, keep me guys on Facebook.com. Let me know if I'm breaking up still. Now I lost all the voice. So you know what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna turn this off on Facebook. Come back to me, guys, on Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero. But you can also check us on Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero on the Power of Voices that automatically comes via YouTube and our system back at the studio. That was Lee, who was on the air there with me for a moment. And so you can go to YouTube. By the way, we do want you to subscribe and become a free member at YouTube. That's a big thing we're pushing this year. And Twitter. So we want to grow that audience. We've got a nice, big, strong, solid audience on Google Plus and Google Views and Facebook. So we want to start building that audience now on YouTube. YouTube.com/Jesse Torrero. Subscribe, it's free. Become a member. Lots of podcasting. We're live there. The broadcast automatically happens and then turns off into a podcast. Hey, let's bring on Jeff Langton and see what Jeff Langton's doing. I'm going to send a little invite out to him, see if he can hear me okay. And hopefully you guys might be able to hear him. You have to speak up, though, of course, when you get on the phone with me here, guys, because when we're doing remotes like this, our technology is a little bit different. But let's see if we can bring him up. We'll ask, hey, Jeff, I'm going to send you an invite. What you have to do is you have to hit that acceptance of the invite, and a little video will pop up in my corner that you're on live with me. and you could be on live on your camera from your smartphone, and we can bring you up here, and everybody can hear and see, and you can see and hear, and it's kind of cool that way. So that's good. But nevertheless, as we were talking, so there's lots of good things happening. So that's a good thing, and it'd be nice to start getting these roads fixed in America. I don't know about you, but like I was talking about LA here, it's just pretty unbelievable how difficult it is to get around some of these roads. We got the biggest potholes. We don't have potholes. We have mini craters in Los Angeles. That's what we have. All right, well, let me switch this Let me switch this over here. Maybe I'm a little too close to this setup here. So we're going to switch it and take it from this angle here. And perhaps then what you'll be able to, as we play with this technology and kind of get used to it here on the Jesse T Show. Now, you guys let me know if that volume is any better on our other feed there, like that. And sometimes when you put things too close together, they kind of nullify each other to some degree. Okay. So, as I said, things are going pretty good here. Hopefully they're going good for you. And the big storms back east are melting just a little bit, but it still is really cold back there. And we hope that people have a nice warm place to shelter themselves. You know, we don't have that problem here in California generally because the temperatures are all pretty warm. All right, saying hi to Linda Fettig. She moved over here to Instagram. Thanks a lot, Linda. That's why I give you multiple streams to be able to do that. Let's see if we can bring some Mona Lisa de Nacimiento. Let's see if we can bring Mona Lisa up and see what she's at, what part of the country she's from, as we kind of move around a little bit here and bring a couple of different elements into the game as we're trying to do here all the time. Always trying to look for new ways of doing things here on the Jesse T Show. That's for sure, because you got to stay ahead of the cutting edge. Let's see if Mona Lisa, where that's a Nat King Cole song. It's a great song. Okay, let's kind of go back a little bit here, see if Richard's watching, and who else is checking in here. All right. So, what do you think about the big Oprah Winfrey speech? Do you think it was a cool speech? I thought it was a cool speech. Do you think she's presidential material? I don't. Do you think she's a hypocrite? Yeah, I do. I think she's a hypocrite. She's been caught in so much hypocritical stuff over the years. It's pretty unbelievable. Did you see all those pictures that were posted up about her and Harvey Weinstein? Isn't that pretty amazing? All those pictures she has with him hugging and kissing and drooling over him. And there's so much stuff that's been posted up about her, how she said we have to kill all the old white people in this country. What a race baiter she is. I'm telling you, she's a racist. Remember when she did that? We got to kill all the old white people. That's what we got to do. I mean, oh, gee, thanks a lot. I mean, you know, it's this kind of verbiage that comes out of these people, and they can get away with it. And I think they can get away with it just because quite honestly, I'll say it like it is, because I can't help but be Jesse T. They get away with it because they're African Americans, and America is so afraid to be labeled. Anybody's so afraid to be labeled a racist and bigot and a discrimination person, yet won't tell the truth. I think Oprah Winfrey is the biggest racist there ever was. I'm not saying that she's not a smart, wealthy businesswoman. I'm just saying I wouldn't vote for her for president. Saying hi to Thomas Churchill. Hey, Happy New Year, Thomas. Good to have you along with us. Saying hi to Lee Michaels. What's happening, Lee? Yes, he's checking in with us, that's for sure. And let me see if we can bring Lee on and see what he can see if that technology works with Lee. We're gonna play a little bit, Lee. I'm gonna kind of send this out to you and see if I can bring you on and add you in. We've been going back and forth and goofing around with this technology a little bit and seeing if we can make it work. I mean, that's kind of cool. Hey, there he is. All right. Okay, hold on. Let me turn it up. You know what I've got to figure out a way. I'm going to have to figure out a way to to pipe this volume in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jesse, the show's not long enough for you to be able to figure that out.
I know that. But that's what you're there for. You're there to help me, Lee. You're the master guru, the technician.
I'm trying really hard.
And you know something? You're doing pretty good. You know, I think what I need to do is I probably gotta, let me see if I can move this microphone back a little bit and see if I can get you on the microphone a little bit, because I'll speak loud enough. So, okay, talk and see if you can hear yourself any better.
Well, I can hear myself fine here, but I think other people can hear me now as well. I hear it coming back through the system, so I think you got it figured out.
Okay, hey, see? It only took me a few minutes. Lee Michaels, everybody. Got the morning show here from 10 to 12, and here on thepowerofvoices.com, and he uses all the fancy technical stuff. He's got the big green screen with the graphics for himself, you know, but no, me, Jesse T, I get the, you know, the shoestring budget, but that's okay, you know. I love you anyway, baby. So tell me, what do you think about Oprah and that big speech at the Golden Globes? I think I lost him. There we go. So let's bring him back up and try him again and see if we can bring him back up as we play along with this technology in this whole first month of January. That's kind of what we're doing here. Yeah, Linda says, I don't care much for Oprah. You still can't hear, you still can't hear me, Linda? Really? I mean, that's really strange. Okay, well, let me see. He's gone on that one. All right. You should be able to hear me pretty clear, guys. Yeah, you should be. Let me know if you can't hear me. Lydia Cantor Singer, I hear you. Okay, Lydia. Thank you, Lydia. All right, now Lydia says she hears me. Okay, so maybe if you're having some problems hearing the volume. Oh, now Linda hears me. Fedig. Okay, that's cool. Okay, thanks, ladies. Appreciate that. I don't know sometimes unless you all tell me, okay? So anyhow, it's the Jesse T Show on thepowervoices.com every Monday through Friday right here at 5 o'clock. And we're just kind of meandering along here through this show, lumbering our way through as we try to set up even more and more technology. Saying hi to Renee P. Hey, Renee, we got to get you on the show. Renee, I mean, you have that terrific book about love. Oh, shook up. Right, we got to get you on the show, Renee. You and your husband, I believe. Yes, you're the authors of that book, and you're a love counselor. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, I'm ready to spread the love. Oh, spread it, baby. Yeah, just spread it. Spread the love. Ooh. Yes, anytime. Here's my number. I'm going to give it out. I don't care. 818-800-1343. Because if you call me and I don't want to talk to you, I'm going to tell you, don't call me. I don't want to talk to you. Okay, but all right, you got that? 818-800-1343. That line, or you can catch us, messenger me on Facebook. And Renee's got a terrific book out. She's a professional counselor. She's a love and sex therapist. Her and her husband, I believe, maybe just Renee. And I've been trying to get after her to get in here and make it happen. No, you don't have to call me now because I'm on the air and everywhere, and I have to bring you up. But if you have hey Renee, if you have a Facebook, if you have a Android or a Apple right now, and you're on your smartphone, I can add you if you're watching the show. And then we can go live right now. We can set this deal up right now, man. We're making deals as we talk. Got the deal maker right here, you know, laying it down, baby. That's right. So we'll set it. We can set it up right now, or you can give me a holler out later. She got a great book. I've been wanting her to come in. It's a terrific book. Since it's 2018, we got to spread some positivity here. And hey, what more positivity can you have doing the wild thing, Tone Loc style? Let me see. Well, yeah, I will. I'll add you online, or just go to request add to me, Renee, and I'll get that back to you. And so we'll get you on the show because I found your book to be very interesting, and it's always good to bring on positive people trying to help folks. That's for sure. A couple of things I wanted to mention here, which I think are pretty interesting, is that there's a couple of things that are happening out there in space, the final frontier. Yes, these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise to seek out new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Woo! Right, I do miss that monologue at the start of Star Trek. And the brand new Quentin Tarantino is going to be directing the new Star Trek and help writing it. Can you imagine a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek? Is that like totally cool or what? Saying hi to a Holly Davidson, not Harley Davidson. I wonder if Holly sits on the back of a Harley. Saying hi to Penny Hernandez and give you a penny for your thoughts. That's a great song, actually. That's an old-time song. But I'm wondering about this space stuff, because what's happening here is we're starting to find out a lot of cool things about space, and they're saying that we're going to be able to go to the next galaxy, and that's Andromeda. By 2069, I'll be 109 years old. My daughter was 30 years, let me see, she'll be 30 years younger than me, so that's 109. She'll be, at 70, she'll be 70, oh, well, she'll be 79? Yeah, 79. My son will be 75, and we might be flying to Andromeda. How cool would that be, huh? If you guys had the opportunity to get on a spaceship and just Splitsville, man, go. Would you go? How many of you would go? I'd go in a heartbeat, that's for sure. If you had an opportunity to really get on a spaceship and fly clear across the galaxy and check out new cool stuff, would you do it? Would you be the one that would raise your hand if you were healthy and you could you could manufacture it and you could make it happen? Would you make it happen? Would you take that chance? Would you drop everything in life and go there? I mean, would that be something that would be interesting to you? Shh, I would leave in the split of an eye. Thank you much. I would be gone. You know, love you, family, but I'm going. There's a terrific video online, and I posted it up on my Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero site. And I think I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to turn around and play it because even though my guy is Donald Trump, you know, as you know, I'm a Trumpster. My guy is Donald Trump. But I got to tell you, this video, you got to be able to laugh at your guy, right? If you can't laugh at your guy, then how can you have any kind of sense of humor and be a human being? So this video here that was recently posted up, which I think is absolutely hilarious, and I'm going to play it for you because whoever thought about this is a genius. They really are. They really are a genius. Okay, and this is Donald Trump and his imaginary accordion. Now I'm going to hold this up, turn the volume up, and let you guys hear. This is funny as all get out. It really is. Okay, Donald Trump and his imaginary Donald Trump, right? Can you see it? Donald Trump and his imaginary accordion. Ready? Here we go.
Can you imagine if I received the questions? It would be the electric chair. The first thing I thought of when I heard about it is, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process. You are old enough to have seen a time that was much different. You never saw heads chopped off until a few years ago. They built pipelines, and they failed. Good luck. They paid millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to consultants and lawyers, and they failed. They asked, what's going on in Chicago? What is going on? There's no excuse for it. I think it should be. I think it would be frankly more interesting. I know how good everyone's ratings are right now. I think it'd actually be better. How are the Republicans going to finally get together? Where did all these people came? He was all set. spoke to him on the phone. Very nice guy.
I hear he wanted that meeting with you as
He
well.
wanted it. But we called. They can't make a meeting with him.
Is that just the most creative thing you've ever seen? Is that funny? Yes, Donald Trump, if he had an accordion between his hands, because he talks like this, right? He talks the in and out version, not like Italians. You know, Italians talk like they're doing an orchestra, right? Italians talk like that, and you know, but Donald Trump talks like this with the accordion. I think that is the funniest thing. I posted that up. You got to be able to laugh at your guy. If you can't laugh at your guy, then you have no sense of humor about anything, right? So that is funny, absolutely funny. All right, let's turn this down. I always get myself preoccupied here. Oh, this is funny too. This is funny too. You got to be able to laugh at your guy. And even though he's my guy, you got to be able to laugh at him, okay? This is funny too. I love these parodies. I've always loved these parodies that people do. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's go up here. Don't tell me I lost it. I can't. Well, I guess I did. Nevertheless, okay. All right. Anyhow, I want to talk about this space stuff, which I think is so cool. It is so cool, and I would go in a heartbeat. Would you go in a heartbeat if you had the opportunity? If you had the opportunity to go on a spaceship anywhere that you wanted to go, would you go? Would you be the one that would raise your hand and say, "Take me, please. I want to go. I want to take that ride." Saying hi to Bo Reynolds. Hey, Bo, what's happening, buddy? Saying hi to Jenna Ganelli and Sherry Maynard Wheeler. Yes, Sherry, what's happening? So the question of the day is, if you had the opportunity to jump on a spaceship that could go really fast, and you would go to another place, okay? Another universe, another galaxy, would you go? They say by 2069 that interstellar flight is going to take place. They say they're going to be able to have the speed to go to Andromeda. That's our nearest galaxy, which is 4.4 light years away. That's billions and billions and trillions of miles. But they say they're going to have the ability to do that. Would you go? Would you go? Would you take that trip? Wouldn't that be like the coolest thing, to go and be one of the ones that be on that ship? 2069, they say they're going to be able to do that. Okay, I think I'd go in a heartbeat. Hey, if you're into smoking pot, there's some bad things about it. Let me tell you this. I didn't, you know, some good, you know, since California now is a recreational state, there's some cool stuff here about it that's not so cool, especially after I tell you. This is the horrible side effects of smoking too much pot. Too much ganja, man. Too much reefer, I say. Too much marijuana. Too much cannabis. So this is the horrible side effects of it. And I want to bring this story up as the story continues here. There's a couple of things that smoking does of marijuana. We'll see it bringing this up, trying to do that here, and see if we can get that up and going for you. And if we can't, I'll tell you about some of them that this study said. One, you lose the ability to remember things. Okay? Two, you also have a slowing down of your nerves, so you don't move as quickly. You don't process information as fast in terms of long-term use of marijuana. Those are two things. Three, it's very, very addicting. Very addicting, even without the narcotics like the cigarettes that they put in there. The addiction process is pretty solid when it comes to that. You have heart and stroke risks go up. Your heart and stroke risks go up dramatically. And this is a long-term study done on a large basis. This is another side effect of long-term use of cannabis, marijuana. And a lot of people say, oh, it's better than cigarettes. I don't think so. I think it's right up there and just as bad. It's just a little bit different on a different scale. As we bring some more of this up here, let's see here. Sometimes the computer stops a little bit, but you see, you've got to think twice when you start blowing stuff in your sucking stuff down in your lungs, like these vapes, these vapor things. They found that even though there's no carcinogens in it, the extra vapor, the extra water-based vapor, or the stuff that they use in that gets down in your lungs, and it doesn't do well for your lungs over long term. Just like marijuana and cannabis, major lung infections and major lung irritations over long periods of time. So it does that too as well. There's a number of things. This is one of the ones that blew me away, schizophrenia. It creates the onset of schizophrenia. And I'm not BSing you. Just go check out this study. I posted it up on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Jesse Torrero. This stuff is pretty disastrous. This is things that nobody talks about. There's a lot of things nobody talks about. Hey guys, if you think you're going to be Mr. Romeo and you're going to be Don Quixote, you're going to be the Latin lover, Don Juan, or you're going to be the man with the master plan, the stud master of all times, forget it, man. It lowers your testosterone levels. And what that basically just means, it goes like this. That's basically what that means, guys. Yeah. All right. And then another thing it does, I found this to be fascinating because I've been around this stuff my whole life. I mean, all the vatos used to cruise down Truman Street and Van Nuys, smoking the weed. Of course, the medical marijuana stuff, the oils are very good. They don't have all these side effects. The oils don't, because they extrapolate the oils out of there, and the oils is actually where the life-saving medicine comes from. That really helps tremendously in people. So, think twice before you start smoking this stuff on a regular basis, especially with the new cannabis laws here in the state of California on your recreation use, where ultimately anybody's going to be able to get that stuff. Of course, the slower reaction of time that I talked about, that's another issue that long-term cannabis use does. And remember, it's addicting, so it's going to have that possibility of being addicting to you. All right, so hey, I'm just saying, hey, it's me, Jesse T. I got to bring you the straight scoop, whether you like it or not. I just have to say what I got to say, because if I didn't say what I got to say, then it wouldn't be me, Jesse T, saying what I got to say in the world according to Torrero, putting you straight on the point. All right, so just wanted to kind of touch bases on that. I thought that was pretty interesting, especially here in the state of California now, that we have that recreational use being passed. Of course, the police don't know what to do with it, and the assembly and legislature and the courts are all just behind the ball, probably a year and a half. So they're kind of bringing up the back end. Saying hi to Bonnie Pointer. Had a chance to meet with Bonnie Pointer, the lead singer of the Pointer Sisters, and I sang for her like I sang for her sister Anita Pointer. And well, Bonnie gave me a glass of whiskey, and she said, "Go sit in the corner." Well, I don't drink whiskey, but I got the idea. I'm such a great singer. She didn't want me to, show her up, so she made me go sit in the corner. Saying hi to Carlos Short. Carlos, what's happening, buddy? Let's bring on Carla Short and see what she's doing. See if I can add her in. She wants to come online with me live, and I'd like to see where you're chiming in from, Carla, and what kind of weather you got going on there, as we kind of see what's happening for you out there. Hey, don't forget about a couple of things that are happening here coming up, of course, the Academy Awards, and we have Night of 100 Stars, and we're going to be out there broadcasting live. It's been held at the Beverly Hilton for a number of years now, so we're going to be out there live doing our thing with all the stars and having a great time. Did you see Kirk Douglas on the Golden Globes? What a class act Kirk Douglas was. I thought Oprah Winfrey was just a racist hypocrite after that speech. I don't see what was so great about her. Apparently the ocean's floor is sinking, so the weight of the water in the world is making the ocean floor sink. I don't know sometimes where they come up with this stuff. But they do, and it's fascinating, because you got to ask yourself, is there any grain of truth in there about this stuff? When you do some homework out there, you kind of get an idea that there might be a little bit of truth in these matters. That's for sure. You know, not everything is false. Well, you know, they say there's a little bit of truth in everything, and there's a lot of lie in most everything. So you got to kind of sift through the lies to get to the truth, to find out what really is, what they're really trying to tell you. Sometimes you got to kind of look around and see what they're trying to tell you. There's illusion and matrix, and there's deception, all that happens. In fact, they brought me on for a movie. I'm helping out a historical perspective, and we're talking about the world events over the last 1,000 years. And these boys are really stretching Jesse's mind out, which is real cool because I love history. But we're talking about deception, deceit, and illusion. And you know, why is it that we are the way we are, and why is America the way it is, and why is the world the way the world is? It's going to be a fascinating 2 films that they're going to get. I can't wait to be able to talk about that more and more and more. But one of the things that I've been doing a lot of studying on is the Jesuits of the Vatican. And if you have the opportunity, you ought to check out some of the Jesuits in the Vatican, because they're a whole section of the Catholic Church that's basically the ninja fighters. They do all the dirty business of the Vatican. And it's interesting because it answers a lot of questions as to why the Rothschilds become the world's most wealthiest family in terms of cash and banking, while the Vatican is the world's most largest property owner and actually one of the world's most wealthiest all-around corporations. So that's an interesting look at that. You might want to look towards the idea of Jesuits and Jesuit priests because they really have infiltrated a lot of parts of our society, with a little bit of history right here, and they've been the cause of a lot of different movements that have taken place over the eons and eons of time, sort of like the Da Vinci Code, you know what I mean? But a lot more dangerous than that. That's absolutely for sure. A couple other things that I wanted to mention as well. I want to let you know that Tom Sizemore is going to be in studio with us on Thursday. So what a great career this guy has had. Unbelievable. And we're going to be discussing this witch hunting stuff that's going on in the news right now, of course, with Hollywood and all the sexual harassment. Washington, D.C. is of course right there as the kissing cousin of the problems they have in Hollywood, and that's even magnified more because these people are very powerful in Washington D.C. for the whole country, and some of them are just really deviants to the max. And it's funny how deviant people can become so powerful, isn't it? You know, well, you know, it's because that's all they think about. You know, all they think about is the control over others. Saying hi to Mark Gleason. I wonder if you're in a relationship to Jackie Gleason, Mark. Good to have you along with us. Sherry Maynard, Jenna Ganelli, Bo Reynolds, Carla Short, Renee Piane, or Piane, P-I-A-N-E, Piane, Renee P. love doctor and sex therapist. We're going to get her on the show. We've been trying to get her on the show for some time now. That's going to be a great show. We want you to participate with that. Penny Holman, Holly Davidson. I like Indian Chief bikes better than Harleys. Saying hi to our friend Lydia Cantor Singer. Talk about Canners. If you ever been down into the Fairfax district and gone to Cantor's Deli, it's one of the oldest Jewish delis here in Los Angeles in Southern California. The original owner just sold it. I hope they don't change it. Usually when these original owners sell their long-term businesses, they change the taste and everybody runs away. Thomas Churchill, he's going to have a show here on thepowervoices.com, so we look forward to start to push that show out there for him and get some love going in his direction. Anna Julian Nichols, of course, and Lita Fettig and Richard Short. Hey, thanks a lot, guys, for having us on there. Saying hi to our friends at the No Way Jose. No Way Jose. What's going on, No Way Jose? Where are you checking in from? Let's see if you want to bring anybody up on Instagram. See who wants to go up with me. Nobody there? Okay, that's cool. But saying hi to Marla Meandro, Marla Meandro. You know, I need to get somebody to phonetically put some of these names out because I kill them terribly, don't I? Yes, don't ever let me read a long list of names like they did at the World Trade Center or when sometimes they do at the Vietnam Memorial. That's not a job. I would have to practice that job and have the phonetic translation right by almost every name as I mess these names up so much. It's just a terrible thing. It really is. I do try to get names well. I can cold read anything, but names are tough. They are real tough because you just don't know, you know, what is or how they pronounce their name. And that's the key. Everybody might have a certain name, but then they pronounce it a certain way too. That might be different than what it looks like. And that is always where I get screwed up on because I'll see a name and I'll read it and I'll pronounce it a certain way, but then what will happen is that person pronounce it completely different than I pronounce it. Like tomato and tomato and either and either and neither and neither and whether and you know, it's a little different pronunciation, but it all means the same thing. So yeah, I just you know, mess up that all the time. Mess those names up all the time. Try not to, but I do. Hey, we went out to the took a little visit out to the LA Fit Expo, but we got there late. But I'm seeing a lot of the post-ups about the LA Fit Expo. And boy, it looked like a great event. And that leads me to talk about Spartan Racing. If you've never done Spartan Racing, you should try it because it is absolutely the most exciting thing in the world. That's the smallest race is a 5-mile sprint race with 21 obstacles, and you get to it's like you're a kid all over again. You get to jump over obstacles, and run this 5-mile course up in the mountains. You can walk it if you can't run. It's not a matter of who wins; it's a matter of finishing it. It's pretty grueling, but I'll tell you what, it really tests your mettle, and you really kind of get an idea of where you're at in life and where you're at in the world. See who might be jumping in, who wants to jump in with me here, and see what part of the country they're from. I'd like to know what the weather is where you're at. It's raining here in Southern California, and finally we get some rain. But then the people in Southern California drive like insane people when the rain hits because I don't think they know how to. They don't know how to drive. People just don't know how to drive in the water here in Southern California. And, you know, why would they? I mean, we don't have a lot of rain here historically. And when we do get rain, it's usually it's such a flash and deluge for about an hour or two or three that the streets get completely flooded. Saying hi to Patty Banner. What's happening, Patty? Good to have you along. And inviting you here if you want to do a shared video with us. We certainly like to have that. I'm inviting anybody who wants to jump in with me. Do you remember the movie Billy Jack? I loved Billy Jack. It was one of my favorite movies. In fact, that was the first movie that got me into martial arts. Bruce Lee is everybody's big hero. I like Jim Kelly. I like the great wrestler and judo champion Gene LaBelle, and I also like Tom Laughlin and Billy Jack. I thought he was just terrific. He was one of my favorites. That's for sure. Especially that one scene where he takes his right foot and slaps the sheriff in his right foot and slaps the sheriff on his right cheek. So right foot to right cheek, and he says there's not a damn thing you're going to be able to do about it. And the sheriff laughs at him, and he just drops the sheriff. I mean, that Billy Jack was cool, and he was before his time. And I really like Billy Jack. It was Billy Jack and Benny Urquidez that introduced me to the fight game and the combat arts. So that was I get to thank those two guys. Of course, Benny Urquidez, the great champion of all time, one of the greatest champions, martial arts and kickboxing champions ever in the history of martial arts and kickboxing. Him and Don the Dragon Wilson. Martial Arts Kid is coming out too. They're starting to shoot that. So we're going to be looking forward to that and getting some of those people on the air here with us as we broadcast live right here on the Jesse T Show every Monday through Friday. And, you know, sometimes we get into a lot of controversial stuff, and sometimes we just kind of have a conversation like we're doing today. Sometimes we get into the political stuff, but politics seems to be going pretty good right now. The federal government seems to be making headway and doing the things that they should be doing, and the county governments are trying to figure out what they're going to do here in California with all this new money that they're supposed to make here with the idea of the cannabis stuff, but none of it is enacted yet on the legal side. So it's hard to say when that's going to be turning around at all, if it is. And I'm just concerned about, really what I'm concerned about is the drunk driving aspect, the driving under the influence. That's kind of scary to me. That's kind of something that I'm concerned about, because I'm out on that road all the time, and I'm going to have to deal with more drunk drivers. I don't figure. Sometimes I don't figure. I was never a proponent to legalize marijuana. I changed my position a little bit because that's the way it was going, and you know, but I was never a proponent to legalize it myself, but I don't use the stuff, you know. I don't need it. I understand the medical aspects to it, and I voted for that. I voted no for the legalization of recreational use, but I voted yes for the medicinal purposes because it does save people's lives. The oils do. Very, very important. So I did vote for that, but man, it's just going to be an interesting run here over the next year and a half as to what people are going to do. I think we're going to get into a big issue. You never see any homeless when it's raining. I wonder where they go. Well, you know where they go here in California? They all have these portable tents now. Yeah. The homeless don't live under cardboard and bus benches anymore. They have these portable tents that fold up, and they put them in their backpacks. And some of these portable tents are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's pretty amazing. You know, I don't think the homeless too much really want to not be homeless. At least that's what the studies, and that's what my experiences showed me in the activism that I've done. The homeless really don't want to be homeless. And I mean, they got these beautiful tents now. I saw a guy pulling a barbecue attached to his cart. Yeah. And I saw another guy, he had a lawnmower. Now, I don't know what that's about, but that's an engine that he can do stuff off of. Probably create electricity. All he has to do is set up sort of pulley system onto a generator, and that's it. And a lot of these homeless people are smarter than you think. So, you know, I'm not a big proponent to make it easy to be homeless, and we've made it a lot more easy here in Southern California. In fact, one of the easiest places on God's blue green earth in the United States of America is to make homelessness live here in California. That's why we have more homeless people here than anywhere else. It's easy, and the weather's there, and they get the benefit of the doubt all the time. That's for sure. So from here, all in the day of the life of yours truly, Jesse T. This is what I'm going to be doing next. From here after the show, I move off, and I'm going to start training again now, getting ready for my next race, my next Spartan race. So I'll be training. I got to go do some cardio work. Since it's raining, I'm not going to do the street work because I don't want to get wet, freezing cold, and catch cold. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up going probably the 24-hour fitness and doing all of their machine work. And when I talk about the machine work, I'm talking about these kind of ski machine and this machine where your arms and your legs are pumping. I'm going to do a lot of cardio, a lot of type of push-pull cardio stuff, and do grip exercises, and of course do core, and probably do shoulders. And that's kind of what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to get a good 2.5 hours in here after we are done with the show, the Jesse T Show. Check it out now, the Jesse T Show every Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 right here on thepowerofvoices.com. You can go to that, download the free app for Apple and Android, and download that free app, and then you'll be able to check out about 70 or 80 shows we have online here. Very eclectic type format, but also the Jesse T Show from 5 to 6 right here Monday through Friday, and a best of on Saturday and Sunday. And every Wednesday we do something called Roundup Woundup. So that's happening there as well. So we want you to check out that show. And tomorrow, in live at the studio, the crew, partially is going to be back. David Shark Fralick, Dan, the man, the real Dog King. That's right. And yours truly, Jesse T, the Brown Beauty, is going to be on duty. So we've got Roundup tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about the gold clothes. Have a lot of fun. Looking to bring a comedian in tomorrow. Someone you know, if I can lock them down. Special guest. Don't know who it's going to be, but I'm working on something right now. And then, of course, on Thursday, the great actor Tom Sizemore right here on the Jesse T Show. You're the world according to Torrero. Now you're straight on the point. Hey, good to have you along with us, saying hi and thanks to Mark, Carla Short, Sherry Wheeler, Maria Medrano, Patty Banner, Bo Reynolds, Renee Pierre, I think that's how you say it, or Piane, Lee Michaels, Tom Churchill, of course, thanks a lot, Thomas, Mona Lisa Do Nascimento, Sabrina Ann Halls, and so many others. Thanks all for having us on and checking us out right here, 5 to 6, Monday through Friday on the Jesse T Show. The Brown Beauty is off duty. See ya!